All right, back on the morning wake up 1320 WILS day after Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's Turkey Day was a good one, good safe one. Keep the travel safe out there and think about what you're doing in all aspects the day after Black Friday. Big day for shopping. I mean, you're out there, if you're out about at this hour, it's a good chance that you're not going to work. You're going out to hit the stores. Retailers hoping, and we always visit with the Michigan retailers here, and of course with Bill Strauss, who's at the Federal Reserve Bank in Chicago, tied in with the retailers about their forecasts. They're always very optimistic about a holiday season, especially with the recession well in our rearview mirror. But is that optimism usually well-founded, or is it just out there, as opinion? Is it good opinion? Does it reflect an accurate picture of our economy? What about consumers? What ought they be doing? And that means you this time of year. We always like talking with financial strategist Clark Hodges, who's back with us this morning. Clark, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. Appreciate you being here. It's this is a huge shop. It's not as big as it was at one time because of the online shopping that goes on 24/7. 365,
Yeah.
but as we kick off the official traditional start of the holiday sales season, what are you seeing out there in terms of that kind of retail traffic, how that drives our economy? And when you look at stocks in the market too, and you look at big retailers, what's your overall take on that sector?
Well, I think that the overall mood of the consumer is really more important when it comes to spending for holidays than a lot of things. I think if, like in '08, we're coming in out of a recession or in a recession in
Right.
Christmas of '08, but people just weren't in the mood to spend, and who could blame them? I think after the election, there's a little bit of a feel that, hey, maybe I won't spend so much in taxes next year, and so that's put me in a good mood. Maybe corporations will pay less tax. Maybe my investments will do better. And I think that probably has a lot to do with spending for Christmas. I think it's probably going to be a better Christmas than maybe most people think, just because, hey, don't discount the fact that all year long people have been worried about this election,
Right.
have probably sat there with cash on the sidelines and said, I'm not going to make any major purchases or do anything outlandish because I just don't know what's going to happen. And now that that's behind us, I think some of that money will be freed up. And all those people this morning that are elbowing each other to grab the perfect item for their families, the American way, that's great because I think people are better moods to get out there and buy things.
But there's still, so you're saying either it's in the front of your mindset or it's at least there subliminally. You're asking yourself from
Right.
this date on, is 2017 in my mind going to be financially better than 2016 was, or at least it's equal? If the answer is yes to the first, I'm going to be spending a little more freely. If the answer is no, or I'm not sure, you're going to even subliminally tighten the belt a bit on your normal holiday outlay.
Right. That's exactly what I think. And I do believe, just think about this. Think about the promise of potential a tax break for you personally. Think about the ability for corporations who have money overseas. They may be able to bring that money back, which could lead to growth and expansion of businesses, which could lead to employment. Think about less regulation and what that could do to businesses. So the stock market may go up. So your 401k potentially be better off. I do think we're going to enter into a more positive realm. I think in January, when we have the inauguration, there's going to be a lot of warm and fuzzy feeling around the potential for something new, something different, something non-traditional in the White House. And I think that maybe give people a lot of hope. And I think that does play a major factor in how you feel. I mean, I'm that type of person when it comes to investing. Since the election, I felt better about the situation that I see myself in personally, and I think that'll lead to more things, vacations, more feeling good at buying and at the store, maybe buy an extra item or two. And then the online thing is there, and just being able to sit here and watch television and see my favorite product advertised and there's a new version of it, hey, I'm going to go get it. I think all those kinds of things will happen, not only for big ticket items, but for smaller items too.
And we saw this with the markets here. We've talked about it before, Clark. Markets just don't like uncertainty. They like it. The markets like it
Right.
even less than individuals. And when you put all of that together, it becomes the marketplace, and then it gets squirrely. And even on election night, we saw once that things were certain, and once there was certainty, they rebounded in a big way. We saw that with the futures, and sure enough, that followed up.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't. There's been a lot of that to see in the past, so I guess it shouldn't have come as a great surprise that the market cared less about who the president was. That we want to find out who it is, have certainty, and move on from there. Is that it's too simplistic an outlook?
No, I think when you get down to the politics of it all, you have to stop and think, okay, maybe my opposition candidate that I don't like, maybe he's saying things that he shouldn't say,
Yeah.
and he's not being appropriate, but his policies were not really thought about because the actual stuff that was unimportant as far as policies go were more in the news. What he said over here about this, what he said over there about that. Those were the things talked about, not his actual policies. Now that he's won, and you start to think, hey, what are his policies? Those are pro-business, pro-growth, pro-consumer. Can you imagine how happy we would all be if we got a 5-page tax code as opposed to a 50,000-page tax code, that we could all simplify the tax process for ourselves, and that our taxes went down and it was much easier to do, and you didn't have to file your extensions because it's so confusing and this and that. I mean, you wouldn't like it maybe if you're a CPA.
That's right. I was about to
Can you
say.
imagine how happy we would all be?
I was about to say, for the tax lawyers out there and the folks who do tax preparation, they're like, bite your tongue, Clark. This is how we make a living. And we got to make a living too. But for the average American, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if things are simpler and if they're fair, I mean, you can make it simple, but make it fair. Don't put it all on one group, and don't pit us all against one another as well. That's part of why we're in this. I think that's part of why we're in the fix we're in, because they're always being pitted, one group against another. It wasn't always that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. But that's look, that's just the fact of the matter. The holiday buying season is on. Black Friday. Be smart out there. Don't forget about putting some money away. But maybe this year is the year to let loose with a little bit more than you have in the past. Clark Hodges, always ask you, where do we go online?
Go to HodgesCapital.com and check us out.
Always a great place to be. I know we'll probably talk with you before the end of the year, Clark, as well in the holiday season, because we'll start talking about your last chance to make some moves while you still can for some, speaking of taxes, deductions going forward. Always important. Right. Clark, thanks for being here very much. Always a good chat.
Thank you. Have a safe holiday.
Yep, you too. A safe holiday weekend. A lot of football still to come. He's down in Texas. I know he'll be watching football. That's part of, in fact, I think that comes on your birth certificate when you're born in Texas. We don't just like it here in Michigan, right? That goes right in line with the DNA. This is your morning wake-up on the day after the holiday. Be safe, everybody. Keep it here, 1320 WILS.